What is the green card? Yes, the card itself has a green color, but it is just beyond the green card. It is what defines someone as a permanent resident of the United States of America. So the word green card is it's official nickname of the permanent residence status. Each country in the world has permanent residency status. They call different names. In Canada, they don't call green card. They call permanent resident. In short, the official abbreviation or official nickname of Canada permanent resident is PR. They don't call green card. Other countries, they have their own name. But in the United States, they have green card, which is green. But one time they changed the color to be white, that card. Later they brought back to its iconic green color to go back to the original green card, green card, green card. But what is this actual green card? This card or this status is not equal to be a US citizen, because some people think that, oh, you go to America, you have papers, you are green card holder, so you are same like a US citizen. No, green card is not equal to the US citizen. There are things you can do almost the same as US citizen, and there are things which you cannot do as a US citizen. You can be revoked your green card status if you don't do certain things. So there are clear difference between the two. But it opens the door. It gives you a big advantage compared to someone who is there under any visa category. Because those people come there under any visa category have the temporary stay in America with restriction on where to work, how many hours to work, or even not to work at all. Or if you work, you must get what we call the authorization of the Department of Homeland Security. That's why even the social security card of a person who is under the visa will say work authorization under the Department of Homeland Security. But if you're a green card holder, you are a US citizen, those words of work authorization under DHS will not be there. So what are the differences between the two, or what are the things a green card holder can do? Overall, green card holder can come to America, don't need to have any other type of visa, can work, can live there permanently. But it comes with certain restrictions or certain things which you have to adhere to comply. Number one, if you're a green card holder, you cannot vote into the elections. And here I'm talking about the major state elections and a federal government election. You cannot vote for the state representative, like House representative of your state, or the senators of the state legislature. You cannot vote for the governor. You cannot vote for the federal senators. You cannot vote for the federal House representative in the Congress. You cannot do that. If you vote, you get caught, you'll be deported back to your country, and your green card will be taken away. That right is only reserved for the US citizens. So don't come here and say, oh, I was getting the ID from the DMV, Department of Home, or Department of Home Motor Vehicle. So they ask me, I was sending the mail to the post office. They ask, do you want to vote? I say, oh yeah, I'm okay. They register me. It is your responsibility to know that, do you want to vote? Say, no, I don't want to vote because I'm not a US citizen. Remember, an ignorance of the law is not the defense of the law. So that is the difference, number one. Number two, if you travel outside the United States as a green card holder, you have a restriction of how long can you be outside the United States. If you stay from 0 to 5 months, there is nothing you can do. You don't need to answer to anybody. You can go outside, you can come back at any point. But you cannot stay for 6 months and above non-stop. If you stay 6 months and less than 12 months, between that particular time, what happens will be, they will tell you, you have to bring the evidence that your intention is to continue to be a green card holder. That even I have ties now in America because I've been working, I've been doing this, that will be that way. If you stay for 6 months, you want to stay for 6 months and more, it is better to apply to get what we call the advanced parole form and the approval. But if you don't have, that's when you have starting to have the problems. But if you exceed more than 12 months, guess what? They are going to take off your green card. You will be getting if you want to come back, you get what they call the returning green card holder with the special type of visa. Once you come to America, then you will apply for new card. Is another process where we'll be able to do. So that is the difference. Number 2, U.S. citizen doesn't need to respond, to reply, to fill any form. If you want to stay outside the United States, you can stay as long as you can, no matter how many years you want to stay outside the United States. Number 3, if you are a green card holder, you live in apartment A, you move from that apartment to another unit within the same building, or to go to another building in the same city, or the same neighborhood, or the same whatever, they don't care. If you move from the place you stay, you are supposed to change the address. You can change the address through the phone call, you can change the address through filling the form online or sending the mail. There is a way to change the address. This is different from changing the address from the USPS, from the postal mail, to forward your letters, to forward your mail. This is, you change the address within the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, which is under the Department of Homeland Security. And you must change that within 10 days of moving to another apartment. What happens if you don't change? By law, you'll be deported if you get caught. Though they don't follow that one, is a silly, small regulations, but by law, you might be deported. You're a citizen, doesn't need to change address to any whatever. If they change, you can change. Nobody needs to update. Number 4, if you have a green card, you are limited to certain types of jobs, especially federal employment. 99.9% of all federal employment, federal jobs, you must be a U.S. citizen compared to a green card holder. At the state level, you can work with the government. Most of the jobs you can be allowed to work, but on the federal level, most of the jobs, they need some sort of clearance, like secret clearance, top secret clearance, or the easiest confidential, even public trust. So they want you to be a U.S. citizen to be able to do that one. So you are limited on what type of jobs you can be able to do. Number 5, another difference is wherever you are walking around, you must have your green card in your wallet, in your pocket. When you are going to be asked to produce that card you don't have, you might end up going to jail, even for a month or whatever, 10 days to a month. I don't remember exactly the sentence, but there is a catch over there for you to be into the prison or jail, whatever it is. So, but if you're a U.S. citizen, you don't suppose you have to walk with your passport. Nobody's asking for that to prove you're a U.S. citizen at any time. But in reality, people are not going around and ask, okay, are you a green card holder or U.S. citizen? Show me the document. They don't do that one. But if you commit a crime, they might go and start asking all this bunch of questions and be in trouble in that way. So that is another differences between the two. Number 6, another difference between a green card holder and a U.S. citizen. If you commit certain type of crime, you might be able to be deported. But if you're a U.S. citizen, you cannot be deported because USA is your country. So you'll be able to stay here without any problem. So you can be taken to the jail, whatever, but you'll be okay to continue to stay here. Number 7, another difference between a green card holder and a U.S. citizen. When a U.S. citizen is going to marry a foreigner, the process of that foreigner to become a green card holder is faster, 6 months to a year. But a green card holder will take a year to 2 years or 2.5 years. So it takes him longer than a U.S. citizen. Speaking of the issue of relationship and marriage and all other kind of things, the difference number 7, a green card holder cannot sponsor someone for what we call the fiancé visa. So you cannot ask for K visa for someone to come to US and get married in the US. No. Because if you do that, the person will not be given the visa. K visa, fiancé visa, is only for the US citizen. That is another difference between a green card holder and a US citizen. Another difference between the two. If you are someone is in America and has overstayed in America, and that person, after being overstayed in America, decided to get married to a green card holder, you are not going to be forgiven by being overstaying in America. You will be supposed to go outside of your country and apply for the waiver, apply for the apology, then to be able to come back to America, then to be processed. But if you are out of status in America, like you came here legally, you came under visit and you are out of status for 5 years, for 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, then you get married to a US citizen, you will be given your green card, everything is going to be forgiven. That is another difference between a green card holder and a US citizen. There are other things are almost more the same, opportunities wise, but there are certain differences between the two. I'm not going to be into every single difference, but those are some of the major differences between a green card holder and a US citizen. So the choice is yours. Do you want to become a US citizen if you're a green card holder? Or just by being a green card holder is only enough? So that question you can answer truthfully by yourself by looking on what do you want to attain in America. Then, do I need to keep the citizenship of my country? Or my country has dual citizenship? There are some countries it's not a big deal to have more than one country as you are citizen of one country. There are some countries you are not allowed to be a citizen of more than one country. You become American, you become German. At that moment, you lost your citizenship of your country. So if that's the case, you have to look like what investment, what things I will lose by only become American and not having the citizenship of my country. Or you can be having dual citizen, but if you are planning to become a president, to become a speaker of your country, obviously they will not be able to give you if you are a citizen of two countries. So it depends on what you want to attain at the end of the day, which works for you based on your scenario. So someone will say you must be a citizen. Maybe the person has their own reason and they see the benefit of being a citizen. There are some people that can want to keep the permanent for the rest of their life. They don't need anything else. After every 10 years, they're going to renew the card for the rest of their life. So it depends on what you want to accomplish and what are you going to lose, what are you going to gain in that particular process.